on. Welcome to Z Multimedia Online. Don't forget to follow us on all our socials on TikTok at Z Multimedia, LinkedIn at Z Multimedia, YouTube, ZTV, IDX, and Facebook at ZFMGH. Do enjoy this video.
In the enterprise development ecosystem in Ghana, and we are going to have an interesting conversation. My name is Oliver Kwabena Agri, always serving you Next Gen Connect on Z, and it's 18 minutes past 2, and we are going to do this with... I'll let him introduce himself. So, Paul,
okay,
tell us who you are, where you are coming from, and then we'll start from there.
I think you've already introduced me. My name is Paul, Paul Main, and I work with Blue Space Innovation Hub. I'm the community manager managing the startups and talents within our Innovation Hub. Basically that. Maybe as the conversation goes on, I'll be...
Okay, so Blue Space Innovation Hub.
Yeah.
And then you're a community manager.
Yeah.
And then you look at talent.
And startups.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just on the basis of that, I have a question.
Sure.
Are young people today talented enough? And do they fit the workforce? Like, this is just on the top of my head because on this show, we are trying to give young people the opportunity but then a lot of the feedback we get, especially when we give young people the opportunity, is that this day and age, our Gen Z people, we are not ready to take on some tasks. But you working as a community manager, working with young people, do you think this is the case? Is this something we are not getting right as young people in this day and age in Ghana?
I think that we have lots of talented people these days. It's just a few hitches that sometimes these talent face, which they need to get more into mentoring, training, and that's what would shape them for the future. Because interviewing some talents or having conversations or being engaging with these talents, I realized there are lots of... Recently, I just did an interview of about 5 talents for internship, and these talents, I could tell that they had lots of things in them, but it's just a few things that they need to build up in terms of getting more exposure, opening themselves up for mentorship, and learning more, right? These days, I think the Gen Z generation, they are looking for quick fix. That's where, so they might have the talent, but they are looking for a quick fix. That's where the problem is, but the talent is there.
Okay, so let's go back to our topic for today: incubation hubs and your role in developing youth enterprises. And it's interesting. I also work in an incubation hub, so I know the hustle, I know the challenges that we face. But do you think in the Ghanaian ecosystem, in our state to develop businesses, incubation hubs are properly placed to be that catalyst between idea generation and business development?
Yes. I believe that over the years, innovation hubs, or let's say incubation hubs, have grown to become a very pivotal assets within the venture space, right? Over the years, it was more like having a space where co-working space and all of that. But now it has grown beyond just having a co-working space to a space where people come, gain mentorship, gain training, gain access to network, gain access to capital and all of that. So incubation and innovation hubs have grown beyond just the working space that we used to know, and it has now become more pivotal and integral in our venture growing stage.
Okay. I mean, that's spot on. And so I'll piggyback on that and say, so are young people taking advantage of innovation and incubation programs that exist in Ghana? You work in Blue Space. I know that Blue Space has done some work with ALS, for instance. I know you also have a lot of programs, especially giving small enterprises exposure to go to Malta, for instance, a lot of things. Are people interested in these programs? Are they taking it? Are you seeing the transition from maybe ideation to actually setting up ventures? How is this happening?
I think the young people are now warming up to innovation hubs. Some of them are a bit, they don't even know that innovation hubs exist, or even if they know, they have little idea about it. So there needs to be more advertisement or more publicity about innovation hubs, like the Blue Space Innovation Hub. And I know even innovation hubs are springing up even in the universities, and even some banks are even opening up innovation hubs. There is little knowledge about it and even its importance within the ecosystem. So young people now need to know more about innovation hubs and take advantage of it, because there are a lot of opportunities that comes with being part of an innovation hub, and most people don't normally know about these things, and once they get involved, they would reap the benefit of it.
Amazing, Paul. I'll set a scenario. So I am a young person, a university graduate, or maybe about to complete university. I don't have any money. I just have a brilliant idea to start like a social app. And I approach, or I get to know that there are innovation hubs that exist. Walk me through how such a person can get into an innovation hub program, actually go through the program and benefit from that program. Or what should a young person today do to be able to get onto an innovation hub program? Is it advertised? Is it somewhere they should walk into your office? How does the process happen?
Okay, I think this more practical question that I think most people will benefit from it. So just like any other innovation hub that I know they have social media platform, they are advertising here and there and all of that. So just going on social media and typing innovation hub, you might probably see Blue Space or any other innovation hub that is happening in Ghana. But one thing that I can also tell young people that have ideas and don't have money is that I know sometimes we listen to motivational speakers and they go like, I started my business with one city and all of that.
One guy.
And sometimes it sounds so weird, but I think when you are starting a business, or when you're a young person coming out of university, or even if you've not even been to university but you have an idea, it is a great way to start. Having an idea is the first stage. Most people think about money, but I believe that money is important, but it is from the middle ground, right? You need the idea, you need the community, you need the network, right? And one thing that I learned from my master's class, and I believe Professor Champon being here would have...
The professor. So let me give you a fun fact.
Yeah.
Professor Champon was actually the host of the show.
Oh, okay.
Before I came to take over. So yes, Professor, we are giving you shout out.
Yeah, so a shout out to him. And one thing I learned from him was from entrepreneurship class, where he talks about the bird in hand principle, right? About who you are, what you know, and what you have. And young people sometimes don't leverage on these things. All they are looking for is, I need money to start. And if you don't leverage on what you have already, you might get the money, you might even lose it, right? Sometimes the network that you have can propel you to even get the money that you are looking for, right?
Yeah.
So young people without money but have an idea should start from who they are. What do you have? Probably you have a degree, probably you have a coding skills, whatever that you want to do. It can be farming, it can be coding, whatever. Know what you know, and then from there, move from who you know. And from who you know, getting that community, that's where the innovation hub comes in. If you are part of an innovation hub, you get to be part of their programs, you get to network with the other startups, other people that are also in the same space with you. One person will lead you to the other person. And one thing that Professor Champon always will say is that you are always three persons away from your helper, need, right? Yes. So you might talk to me. Probably I might not be able to have the money for you, but because I owe or I'm part of an innovation hub, I can lead you to that banker, I can lead you to that maybe investor, and from there you've gotten that investment. Whilst when you were sitting at home thinking about getting money, you wouldn't have gotten that money. Amazing. So you always have to start from where you are, start from the idea, and then just join a community, network, and then
Yes, I mean I was coming to pick up on when you said community. So, and your work as a community manager. So maybe you will unpack what community management is, or the essence of community management within enterprise development, right? So as a community manager, what do you do in terms of helping young enterprises find support?
Okay, so let me give a typical example just for us to have the context, right?
Okay.
So in Blue Space Innovation Hub, me being a community manager, I manage the startups and I manage our talents.
Okay.
With our startups, what we do is that we bring up programs and initiatives that help to support them right from infancy to scale, right? Okay. Or right from idea, if I should put it that way, right from idea to scale. So what we are looking for is that every idea has the potential or has the probability of scaling, right? Okay. But it's all about how you nurture that idea. So in my community management, I design tailor-made trainings, tailor-made trips and other events, pitch contests and all the things, to be able to help these startups to be able to refine their ideas, to be able to find investors, to be able to put themselves in the space of scaling their business to the next level. On the talent side, we realized that from education or our educational system to job market, sometimes there is a gap, right?
Yeah.
We learn all the theories in school, and then when we get to the job place, there is a struggle. So we try to have that blend where we get to also do industry tailored trainings, and we mentor these talents and then help them connect with industry, right? So in our talent, okay, let me put it in context here. So in our innovation hub, we have the accelerator factory, which supports the talent, which supports the startups, and then we have the talent factory, which trains, mentors, and helps these talent to be able to gain employment or even create their own businesses out of it, because not everybody is meant to be an employee. Some are meant to be employers. So we try to find a balance for them.
So I am going to do an announcement. I mean, as I said, on this page, we are always trying to find opportunities for young people. And I know a lot of young people need support in terms of starting their businesses or finding positions. So Blue Space is a place you can go to get support if you have a business or if you have if you need
if you have an idea, if you want internship, you want a contract, you want a permanent job, that's what our talent factory does. Our talent factory is basically meant for that, where what we do is that basically it's called educate, learn, and earn, right? So you come into the talent factory, we help you to gain skills if you don't have. If you have skills already, we help you polish it, and then we help you earn. And the earning can be you starting up your own thing or gain an internship or gaining some sort of employment from our partners and even with us as Blue Space.
Amazing. I mean, I still want to dwell a little bit on the community development, because I know the essence of communities, right? Even if not within the whole enterprise development, even in niches, for instance, a community of techies, a community of, so that we can support ourselves. Within the innovation and incubation hub space, are there intentional communities that have been built? Because someone probably will come in with an idea to build a tech product, but then they know nothing about tech. Is there a community that they can join in and then they can get that support? Is that available within innovation hub spaces that you have seen in the ecosystem, and how does that work?
Okay, so one thing I've seen is that in our Ghanaian space, most of the innovation hubs have all created a niche where some people might not understand what the incubation is or what the accelerator is and all of that. Ours is more from the accelerator bit, and I believe that the incubation bit is more from the nurturing stage, where you have the initial idea, we help you build the idea, and then the accelerator helps you scale up, right? So there are some innovation hubs that are around, but all of them have where they stand. Some of them are helping ideas, some of them are helping scale their ideas, right? So in Blue Space, our innovation hub, okay, let me put things here. We have 5 factories, and we call them factories because we believe that we are building and manufacturing something, right? So in the 5 factories, we have the accelerator factory that helps startups. We have the talent factory that helps talent. We have the code factory that help co-create with other startups or even new people that have ideas that don't know how to go about it. So that's where the new people, the new talent that have ideas. So that is the code factory. We have the digital factory that helps with digital skills training. And that one, we work with enterprises, we work with individuals, we work with government agencies and all of that. And we have the capital factory. That is the 5th one. The capital factory helps with the funding, helping startups to be able to gain funding for themselves. So we have structured it in 5 main pillars that wherever that you find yourself, when you come in, there is definitely a support from the accelerator factory, talent factory, the code factory, the capital factory, and the digital factory as well. And I know that, I think even in University of Ghana, the innovation hub, the Nest, I know that you guys help new ideas that are coming up. And over the years, we've also worked with some incubators like the Biz Innovator, where they did some pitch contests and other things, recruiting students that are into innovation and other things. And then we help them with the ideas to be able to build up. And we are also working with other universities like Lancaster, University of Ghana as well, with Ghana Communication Technology. Like we are helping other universities, those that have ideas, and how we can support them from our end.
Amazing. Another thing aside community that I find very interesting, especially within the Innovation Hub community, is mentorship. What do you think the role of mentorship is in developing new ideas for young people and then guiding them from ideation stage to acceleration stage? Mentorship, the role of mentorship, and how do you do it in your space? How do young people like get support within mentorship in your space?
Okay, so mentorship is something that is very underrated or less used in our current space, right? Most people have ideas, but they think that once I have the idea, I can go to the market. But to have an idea is different from to run a business, right? To have an idea is different from the business dynamics. So young people need to understand that mentorship is very key. Having a mentor or being under an accelerator or an incubation is very key because it helps shape your idea, not just probably diluting your idea, but in the business sense, right? In terms of financial management, in terms of business planning and all of that. Some people just have the idea raw. It might be a tech person that probably knows how to code and has thought of some novel idea and wants to code, but probably doesn't know how to pitch. Probably doesn't know how to manage funds when they are given. Doesn't know certain basic things that when it comes to business management, they can do, right? So having mentorship or being part of Innovation Hub is very key to be able to gain these mentorship to help you manage the terrain of business, because the terrain of business can be very rough, right? And recently, I remember I had a conversation with a developer who we put on a job. And after the conversation, he was like, even though I'm working for these people, I have an idea, but I don't know how to go about it. How can Blue Space help me? And I was like, okay, he should just bring a pitch deck. He said he doesn't even have a pitch deck. I was like, so he said he can explain the idea to me, right? And such a person, he has the idea, and the idea is very beautiful, but he doesn't know how to even do a pitch deck. So that's where mentorship comes in. So young people should take advantage of Innovation Hub to make sure that they get these mentorships and other things. And banks and all these people that or venture capitalists or angel investors will not just hand you money when they know that you cannot handle the money, even though your idea is good, right? So learning all these things, mentorship comes in.
Amazing. I don't know why it seems like you just jumped the gun a little bit before I asked the questions. I was just coming to money, right? And you mentioned banks and all that. So, I mean, I know initially we set the tone that young people probably may not have money, but what role does innovation and incubation hubs play in securing, let's say, investor funds for young businesses, in actually providing funds for them to support their business growth?
So the mentorship and everything helps you to become investor ready, right? And I've worked with some startups that probably they think they are ready until a bank told them to bring your documentation, and they realized that they were never ready, right? So Innovation Hubs helps you to prepare, helps you to put yourself in shape to become investor ready, because most people probably they might even have started the business already, but probably when it comes to filing your tax returns and having a bank account and managing your books and balancing your books and all of that, sometimes do not even have it, even though they've started the business and they have some sort of traction. So Innovation Hubs helps you to put yourself together to be investor ready. And right now, one of the initiatives we are putting together is called the Blue Space Startup Catalyst Program, where we are looking to skill startups. But before we skill you, we need to make sure that your basics are right. And even those of us that are Christians will say that how can a house stand if the foundation is weak, right? So when your foundation is strong, you get to be able to build from there. So Innovation Hubs, Incubation Hubs helps you to build your foundation to propel from there.
Okay, so what I'm getting from this is that you don't necessarily give them the funding, but you prepare them to be fund ready.
Yes, we prepare you to be fund ready and help you to expose you to these investors to be able to
put you in the right room to get the investments. Okay, so another question which I think is controversial, but you tell me, is Innovation Hub, participating in Innovation Hub programs expensive? I ask this because I've had conversation with some young people that have brilliant ideas, and I told them, "Oh, have you seen this innovation hub?" Go to them, it's like, "Oh, but I have to pay, but I have to." So, is enrolling onto an innovation hub program expensive, especially for young people?
Okay. In my experience, I haven't seen any innovation hub that you pay.
Okay.
In my experience. And in Blue Space, you don't pay to be part. You just need to show some level of seriousness, commitment, and readiness to be it. Because no one wants to waste their time anyway, right? But I don't know any innovation hub as it stands now that people pay. The banks that I've engaged with that have innovation hubs right now, I don't see them allowing people to pay before they join their innovation hub. Just that you might have to go through some screening, you might have to fill some forms, you might have to go to some vetting before you are added on, right? But with the innovation hub that even some universities are building, it's open for the student, and so I don't think you have to pay. Just that most people don't have the right information, and when you don't have the right information, you are misled. And I believe that that's where these conversations are very necessary for young people to be able to know. But I don't know of any innovation hub, and we as an innovation hub, you just have to go through screening, we vet you, and realize that one, your idea is viable, your idea is scalable, and you as a founder or as that innovator, you are ready and in the right frame to be able to push, and then you're good to go.
Amazing. Paul, I'm enjoying this conversation. Once again, I'm here with Paul Main.
Yeah.
Yes, who is the community manager for Blue Space Innovation Hub, and Blue Space is doing amazing. I know Blue Space has a variety of other products that you run, but today we are focusing on the Innovation Hub. So let's still backtrack a little bit and talk about the role of teams, right? So I've been through several Innovation Hub programs that one of the criteria is don't come in as an individual, come in as a team. Because I don't know the thinking. I want to get that understanding from you. Is there a reason why most Innovation Hub programs will say, okay, come in as teams, or come in as this particular team with this kind of expertise, as against an individual participating in these programs? Can you share some idea on thoughts on that?
I would always speak from the experience that I have because of the space I find myself in. I realize that usually the people that come in individually, sometimes they easily go back or they easily fall back, right? And great team make the team work, right? So most innovation hubs are looking for sustainability and longevity. And when you come in and it's just you can easily today say you don't want to do again, right? And you are just out. And when an innovation hub gets to invest in you, gets to help you and all of that, and one day you are just out, that's why even some banks will not even support you, even as an entrepreneur, if you are not even part of an innovation hub, right? Because they are looking for some credibility, knowing that as you are coming in, there is a backing, right? You have a team, and most investors even invest in you as a team before they even invest in the business, right? They are looking at the team being a team that is strong, a team that is very viable, that is ready and willing to support what they are saying they want to do, right? So it's usually safe working with a team than working with an individual. But to every rule, there's an exception, right? But most of the time, we are looking for people that are in a team, and all the team members show some level of competency and commitment to be able to push the agenda.
Okay. Yeah. This one too is very controversial. Me, Kras, I'm coming to ask, I'm scared. But our noisy neighbors, our noisy neighbors.
Unless you enlighten me. Since you said it controversial, I don't want to conclude.
Our noisy neighbors that are across two countries to get to. They seem to be doing something right. If you look at their innovation ecosystem, they have one of the biggest fintechs in Africa, right? I mean, a couple of them. I mean, I know Ghana, we have tried it, but we are not, I'll say we are not at the level where they are bringing in a lot of investment. At the backbone of that, I think, is because as Ghanaians, we've not been able to develop like unicorns, like a lot of businesses that are, as a person that is running an innovation hub or works within an innovation hub, what do you think that gap is? Why are we not able to get to that level yet? Like now that we have like a lot of firms going to the YCs, a lot of attracting like multi-million-dollar investments into like Series A, Series B investments into our startups.
from this angle, like you said, it's very controversial.
Very controversial.
But aside the whole Jollof war, I think between us and our cousins, what I believe it is culture.
Okay.
Right. I believe that the Nigerians have a culture of can-do spirit. The Nigerians have a culture of never giving up. The Nigeria has a culture of I will make sure I hit it till it breaks. Right. I think Ghanaians are sometimes laid back and sometimes scared to try. So when I know someone that is looking for funding right now to start a business, but he's scared to go for a loan because what if the loan doesn't work? What if I go? The idea is viable, but what if I lose the money?
Yeah.
So they are not thinking they are going to spend the money, but they think that what if the business goes bad or I'm not able to make the money within the first year and the bank is on my neck. And I know one guy who is 18 years old and he went to a bank, convinced them to be able to get, I think, about 2 million naira or something to start something small.
Wow.
Right? 18-year-old, right? And one time I was listening to Mr. Easy and he was telling a story of when he was in Ghana, he wanted to start a business and he went to his friend's father to take money to do the business and the business went down south. And the father was angry, yet he got a new business idea, went to the same man
father.
and he was asking the presenter that, how would you have behaved if you were the man? That I came to you again, knowing that I've just smashed your money over. So I think that is that can-do spirit that they want to push it till it breaks, right? And I was listening to this guy, to Wizkid, where he was also talking about, for us Nigerians, when you tell us that do AB and will give me money, I'll make sure I do AB till I make the money.
Yeah.
Once you tell me it's that.
Yeah.
But a Ghanaian will do AB 1 or 2 times and realize that it's not working. Okay, let me try something else. It also comes to consistency, right? Sometimes we lose that consistency. Once it's not working, we want to give up.
Yeah.
But Nigerians will push it and will convince you to want to invest.
Yeah.
So we need to build our culture of being resilient, being consistent, being ready to push it till it breaks. I think this is something that young Ghanaian innovators and creatives need to push hard within the innovation space to be able to gain this attention, because everyone or these investors now, it has become a buzz that when you go to Nigeria, these Nigerian investors, these Nigerian innovators, they will do it.
They will do
and
it.
they will go there. So can we also, innovators in Ghana, try to portray that character, that culture?
I have a funny story.
Yeah.
When I was in Germany and then we were trying to build a business, and one of our case studies was a business in Nigeria which has raised like so many millions of dollars into a Series B.
Wow.
And then we went to check their platform that they've built, and then some of their features were not shipping. And I was like, how do these people do this? Because it takes some confidence to be able to be in development phase and still be able to
push,
attract some sort of...
I think it's all about being able to push it, let people believe. In as much as you believe in your idea, how can you let the next person also believe in how you believe in? And I know some Nigerians that have even sold from the idea stage, that they have not even started the products yet, right? But they are getting people invest in it.
So Paul,
yeah,
where are we getting it wrong as Ghanaians? And also the onus lies on us as people that are building businesses, as Innovation Hub. What should we do? Should we do more exposure? What should we do, in your opinion, to be able to instill this can-do spirit, this drive within Ghanaian entrepreneurs or young entrepreneurs?
I think Innovation Hubs can do something, but it's just one arm of the whole thing. It's a whole cultural shift and a mindset shift. People need to now get to the space of the world is moving so fast and people are ready to buy an idea that they don't have. And how can you convince them, right? We need to understand that the world is moving so fast that young people out there or beyond the shores of Ghana are doing massive stuff. Innovation Hubs can push you to the limit, but he said that you can push a horse to the riverside, but you can't force it to drink. Yeah. So we as Innovation Hubs need to also help these people to be more eloquent, more consistent, more active to want to push their ideas, encourage them to push. If we see that this idea is a novel idea, let's not treat it like any other idea that, okay, if you push it, fine, we'll help you. If you don't, we'll leave you. Let's try to let them see what they have and help them to push it further. But as individuals and talking to young people like me, I'm also telling them, whoever that is listening, that push yourself, do it to the max. push it to the very end, right? There is this one young guy recently I saw, I think he went to Ashesi and did his PhD in the UK now. And he apparently got a funding of $200,000 for his startup that he's starting. And I believe that sometimes exposure also helps people to come out of their shell, right? And working with startups, and like you mentioned, Malta, going with startups to Malta and other countries for them to look for investors and pitch and all of that. I've seen some startups that before we went to these countries, they were a bit timid or they were a bit in their shell. But once we went there and we came back, you could see them now stepping out. You could see them now wanting to partake in pitches and all of that. So it's something that these innovation hubs also need to organize pitches. And let's not even just go for pitches because we will get money. Sometimes let's go for pitches because we want to build ourselves, build our confidence for the next pitch, build our confidence for the next investor, right? So innovation hubs can do much, but we as individuals also need to also push ourselves.
Build the culture. Yeah. Amazing. Thank you. You're still tuned into Next Gen Connect on Z101.9 FM, and we are having an interesting conversation so far. Paul, in our concluding minutes of our conversation, I want to build on something. I think the exposure bit you mentioned is very important. And this is, by the way, a conversation that I've been having with Prof like some weeks ago. We put out a call. We are working with our project and we put out a call for innovative ideas. And some of the ideas that came in, I was wondering, this is typically somebody that's worldview is just around them. We build for ourselves, our mothers, our fathers, and our community. But the world problem is big. We can build for, aside, I mean, traveling to Malta is good. We have to get a lot of people going out to get exposure. But how do we get there? Because that boy in Navrongo that has an idea is thinking about how to build. We need to expose that person with that innovator in Germany or in Malta. How do we seamlessly do that? I feel like the world has become smaller with the internet, but then it has also become very wide when it comes to like working together with people and building like innovative solutions together. As innovation hubs, as people that are grooming, how do we expose them? You can talk about your Malta trip extensively here also, but tell us how, especially Blue Space, is helping young people get exposure beyond their current surroundings.
Okay, thank you. So, talking about Malta is interesting.
Yeah,
you can go to Malta, you can go to Canada, you can go to all over the world and gain exposure. But the tree that we see outside that is so big started as a seed, right? You always have to start from somewhere. And even though I was talking about Malta, we also did the EcoBank FinTech Challenge. We went to Togo, and being there, I could see some of the things that I was seeing in Malta or seeing in Amsterdam or wherever. So I believe that it's not all about traveling out of the country. I believe traveling out of the country is so good. I always advocate for people to travel to see, because what you see sometimes opens you up to be able to build more. So it's good, but start small. Start from somewhere. If you hear about all these innovation hubs organizing these pitch contexts, because if you come in and I realize that your idea is good, what if I decide to support you to go for the next Malta trip? But if you hadn't come for that pitch session, I wouldn't have probably known you, right? So sometimes let's not stay in our shelf thinking that I'm building, maybe one day someone will find me. Nobody will find you if you don't come out. Because if I didn't come to this program today, nobody would have known me, right? So you always have to step up. So what most people don't do is that they are always looking for that big opportunity. But sometimes that big opportunity might start with that small steps. So start with these online communities. Now, it looks like there's a lot of them online where people are organizing bits and pieces of connect, maybe come and drink cocktail with something. Join these communities. As you join, you always know somebody who knows somebody. From their stories, you get to realize that, oh, they are organizing something. You get to be there, talk to people. And there are some people that might also say that, oh, I'm an introvert, I don't know how to talk to people and all of that. Sometimes just being in that space, someone might even approach you if you can approach. And just from that space of talking to somebody, you might have the opportunity to be part of an innovation hub or be part of a pitch context, where from there you get to be part of the broader community. And then you can join us to any of our trips. Like this year, like this, we are open to have some Amsterdam trip, have some Malta trip, have some, we are looking at Norway as well. We're looking at Canada, but due to the World Cup and everything, we just wanted to probably shift it to next year. But there are so many opportunities, but if you don't step out there, nobody will know you. And once people know you, they will put you on. There are some talents that are in my database that probably they don't even know me, but just because they're on their database, when I hear an opportunity, I just probably do a filter, see all those people, and I personally call them. I see you in our database. I see you have these skills. Is this something you are open for? And sometimes they even end up even more like putting up a defense, like, hey, where did you get my number and all of that? And I'm like, hey, I'm not a scam. I just saw your number in our database and I just want to support, right? So being part of these things, maybe it might not give you the immediate benefits, but with time, you'll be there and just receive a call that, hey, I saw you pitch here. It's been a while. Can you join us? Can you have a meeting? And then it takes from there.
On the note of Paul saying that there are community events. Okay, so at AfriVenture Lab, we are organizing our AfriVenture Tech Friday event. It's happening tomorrow at the UGBS Innovation and Incubation Hub, supported by Z. It's powered by this show. So come together, let's build in tech. And it's happening tomorrow. It's a event that we are having in collaboration with Tester Freak and CEF Ghana. And we are having resource persons from FIDO. We are having resource persons all across the tech space that are coming. So join us tomorrow at the UGBS Innovation and Incubation Hub for us to have a very good Tech Friday event. So, Paul, our final segment or our final question is, how do young people take opportunities that exist within our ecosystem? I mean, this is very broad, but I want you to say it from the perspective of Blue Space Innovation Hub and the kind of opportunities you have there. How should young people position themselves to take these opportunities? I'll give a little context to this. So on this show, what we do is provide opportunities as signposts that young people can take. So I am a young person listening to this show. I've heard about Blue Space Innovation Hub for the first time today. How do I position myself to enjoy some of the programs that you are running? What should I do? Should I go to your social media page? Should I come to your office? Should I always be listening to, should I read books? Tell us what we should do as young people to get these opportunities that you are mentioning.
Okay, so with Blue Space Innovation Hub, our opportunities, I'll say, is just on a silver platter, right? You can go on our social media from LinkedIn, Instagram, just search for Blue Space Innovation Hub. And we have a platform called the Talent Factory platform, which is a web application. You just go on there, sign yourself up, and you select your wherever category you find yourself. And once you are there, you get to see job opportunities. And anytime there is a job opportunity there is a broadcast to your email. We also get to call you, like I mentioned. We go through the database anytime there's a job opportunity. Recently, we had opportunities for people that are data analysts. And we have collaborations with other universities and tertiary institutions looking to get internship. And even this July, August, we are opening up for internship, university students that are looking for internship. Because our core business is a fintech business, so we are looking for people that are into tech, in any form of tech skill, right? So we open up for internship in July, August, 2 to 3 months internship. And once you are part of our Talent Factory, any opportunity that comes, we make it available for you. For those that are also into startups and all of that, right now we are running the Startup Catalyst program where we get to provide support for startups, right? So eventually, I think by the close of this quarter, we'll be having a pitch. So you can just follow us on our social media platform, or you can even send me an email, paul@bluespaceafrica.com, and I'll be there to support you, or send us a message on our LinkedIn or Instagram, and we'll hit you up.
Thank you so much, Paul, for honoring our invitation to come on the Next Gen Connect show. And I hope young people out there, you've listened to everything Paul has said today. I think we've set a very good tone for opportunities within the innovation and incubation hub space. And as I always say before our program ends, if you're a young business, if you're a thriving business, this is a show that connects to a lot of young people. If you need to advertise your business on the show, link up to the ZFM team here, like through our socials, through emails, and then we will link with you and give you some spots on the show. We are connected to a lot of young people. Our database shows that we have a lot of young people listening to the show. So this is a place to connect to us. If you want to sponsor the show, you can also reach out to us and then help us reach more young people. All too soon, we've come to the end of our conversation today and the end of Next Gen Connect. Join us same time next week. And then we'll be with you. Up next is Highway 1019 with Richard Sticks, and we out.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. And also do follow us on all our socials. On TikTok at Z Multimedia, LinkedIn at Z Multimedia, YouTube at ZTV, IDX, and Facebook at ZFM GH.